Okay.
1, 2.
We're ready.
All right.
I feel like we trust everybody.
What's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to the L3 Perspective, where we talk life, love, and leadership. And so there's two things I want you to write down: fashion and filmmaking. There's a quote out there that says, fashion is a way of expressing who you are without you having to speak. Today, we're going to have an amazing conversation with a filmmaker, Vallejo, California native, someone who, when they step in the room, you know who they are, and you know that they're there. One of the things that I appreciate about Sara Anders is the energy that she brings in the room. And I say that because I had the opportunity of meeting Sara at our Super Bowl planning committee meeting, the very first one that we had in Fairfield, California. And when I walked around and was just kind of checking in on the groups, you could see she had that ability to lead people, but bring people together based off of her words and the energy that she displayed. With that being said, I'm looking forward to diving into today's conversation. We're going to talk fashion. We're going to talk film. We're going to talk a number of different things. This is someone that speaks with a lot of passion and pride. But before we dive into it, I'm going to toss it over to Cam.
Yes, sir. Hey, as you guys know, like, share, subscribe. But also, this episode is sponsored by L3 Media. We are a full-service media company out of Fairfield, Solano County, the only one. Podcasting, marketing, websites, whatever you need to build your business, we got you. So that being said, no, and even her son, like you said, like like when he was asking those questions, like that takes a lot at the Super Bowl meeting to stand up in front of a group of adults, as a 13-year-old and be like, well, what about this?
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, Sara Anders, welcome to the L3.
What's poppin', loves and lovers?
What's up?
Thank you so much for having me. I just really appreciate the platform. And it feels good to be seen.
Yeah. So I have a question that we'll just jump right into. You brought up her son. That moment that you seen your son stand up and we were talking about data, right, regarding Solano County, and when he asked the question, like as a mother, what was that feeling that you had?
I feel like I'm always so proud. I definitely push him outside of his comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And at times it's really hard for him, right? It's not easy having Sara Anders be your mom, and that's real. But I'm so proud of him because I know his potential, and I know that, you know, he can step up to the plate. And I'm glad that I'm raising a young man that knows how to articulate. I'm glad I'm raising a young man who I feel leads by example, and like his spirit is just really sweet, and it's not like her. It's just like, come on, guys, like maybe we should do it this way. So yeah, it was really great. And I'm just, you know, parenting is one of those weird things. Like nobody knows. How about that?
There's no blueprint.
There's no blueprint. No kid is the same. No parent-child energy is the same. You know? And so it's like, that's a whole nother situation. But in those moments, it's amazing. And he was 12 at the time, actually. He just turned 13. And he also stood up at a GVRD board meeting in Vallejo and helped us get $25,000 to do Vallejo late night basketball. So he's able to see how his voice is able to create space for himself and his friends and his community as well. And so
That's cool.
What's
cool. GVRD?
The Greater Vallejo Recreational District. So they are in charge of like all the recreational things in Vallejo.
So they had to approve, obviously, like to have the basketball league. Like
one of the sponsors, and it was like, you know, $25,000 is the big chunk of money. And the community called out. They wanted me to, you know, show up. You know, I'm a community advocate. They wanted me to show up. I said, sure. I brought my son. He was like, I don't want to talk. I was like, oh, you're talking. And then afterwards, you know, he was like, thanks, Mom. You know, so it's good to see him kind of stepping into his own too, and the things that he feels are important.
Now that's cool. So one of the things that, you know, Cam and I, over pretty much the last 7-8 months, one of the things we've been intentional about doing is highlighting individuals or talented individuals around Solano County, right? And so for the world who may not know who Sara Anders is, right, when we talk fashion, we talk film, producer, can you give us a snippet of who Sara Anders is?
This is your time.
A snippet, right? And I think that, I am all things fashion, film. I've worked almost every job on set, from the production assistant, assistant director, executive producer, actress, craft services, locations. And as far as fashion goes, like I think fashion has just always been an easy expression for me. It's been a way, I'm neurodivergent. And so I think like without realizing like this was part of the language that people did understand from me. Maybe you didn't understand my words or like the way that I was thinking about a situation or the way that I saw the world, but like you could just like see this and you could get some sort of perspective. So I was, I was the host of Oakland Fashion Week for 5 years running. So that meant like literally hosting.
That's a whole vibe. I don't do events.
Several shows a day. And that's actually one of my favorite things to do is to live host. Lately, I've been working a lot live hosting with a lot of our politicians, actually. And that has been a really fun space for me to create in because it's not a fun space.
Generally, right? It's like super unfun.
Yeah. And then you like take somebody like me and you put me in that environment. And it's really interesting to see like how people respond or don't. Exactly. And the film started from fashion. So I was doing fashion and a friend of mine, producer Ephraim Walker, shout out to him. He was one of the producers on Fruitvale Station. Still doing his thing. He lives in Vallejo as well. He was like, hey, get on this film set. I was like, okay. So I was on this film set and I did I did wardrobe for a film set and I was just like, yo, sign me up. This is a wild ride. Like it was just like insanity. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it because there were so many things happening and so many things you had to figure out. And it was just like a wild ride. So fashion really got me started. I started doing wardrobe and then that led to me becoming an actress. So I went to go talk to a director about doing wardrobe for his film. So shout out to Rod Campbell. He does, you guys have seen those Oakland USA hoodies. You see, we're just says Oakland USA. Yeah, that's my boy Rod. So he wanted to introduce me to this director, Deontay Thompson. He was like, hey, come meet this director. You could possibly do wardrobe for the film. Dope. I go to do wardrobe for the film. Deontay was like, you're an actress. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, audition for this part. We'll see what happens. I auditioned. I ended up landing the role.
Yeah.
So that's 100 Blocks. You can see it right now on Amazon. Shout out to Beast Mode Productions. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. He was our executive producer on that. Cool. And that's kind of how like the film thing started rolling from fashion into film and worked my way up to executive producing, writing, and directing my own short film.
So what's the difference? So what is a producer? I ask that because it's like I feel like sometimes it's like the people who fund the movie, but then other times it's people who maybe like organize it. So like from your perspective as someone in the film industry, like what is a producer?
Yeah, so there's so many different producers, right? And the thing is, a producer is someone who contributes to the production of the film. So I could technically be a producer if I know Denzel Washington, he's my friend, and I bring him to your table. I'm now a producer. I could now be a producer, right? Because I brought him to your table. You wouldn't have him without me. You wouldn't have the film without me. Or it could be like you hired every single person on the set. You know.
Gotcha. So it could be anything from like
A to
material to money. Like
it could be like some of the producers.
Or whatever,
Exactly. You could bring talent. Maybe you brought your camera to me for free.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're working for me for free and you're usually used to working for $1,500 a day and I need a week of your free time.
For sure.
You are a producer.
We gotta go produce this stuff,
and executive producer is the money.
Okay.
So
that's always going to be the money.
Executive producers, the money, executive. You definitely want to be the executive producer. Because the last decision is always made from the executive producer.
Because they're the ones that control the money.
They're the ones, and then that's also something that's really difficult in being a creative. I am not money motivated. Oh my God. Like not even a little bit. Like my brain does not.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
So from as a creator, what motivates you?
Exploration, something new, to see something different, to create a new perspective, to experience a new perspective, to share a new perspective. The infinite just ideas that are here to create, to play with, the infinite amount of problems or, you know, ways in which to solve one problem. Like, I mean, all of it is just, you want to dive deep? How deep you want to go?
So I have something to add on to that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I pulled it up on my phone, I saw this yesterday from Deshans.
Okay.
And I reposted it to my IG, and it was, businesses started and run by creatives are always in danger of the ideas and the art taking priority over the business itself. And it says, I used to take great pride in calling myself a creative, but that identity that I took on was the very thing that kept me stuck as a businessman. I now understand that when you take on that identity in the presence of high-level business people, it's not a flex. The mere perception of you is that you're scattered, unfocused, and someone that can be used for ideas and creation, but never as a partner. You'll always be the monetizable talent. What do y'all think about that?
I mean,
I know that was like a heavy lift all of a sudden, but that was like, when you said that, I was like, that's like perfect.
Yeah.
I think that can be true to a certain extent. And I also think that that's where people get lost. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here for business. I'm here to create. I know my purpose.
Yeah.
And guess what? I got money. I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
So anytime I actually do try to be like, I'm going to be more money motivated and I'm going to get this job and I'm going to be a 9-to-5er. And you know what? Gosh darn it. I'm going to be a regular person. Crash and burn on fire. So it's just, I think for me, it's understanding that is one perspective. That is not.
Well, you're also not trying to start a business, right? So like you're not running a business per se. And so like what I've noticed, for instance, is like, and I say this a lot, is solopreneurs are not respected in the manner that they should be, right? And a lot of times that can come from people who have a very good talent and then they try and monetize that talent. But what happens is they just like doing that thing. And so once you attach money to it or business to it, not only does it make it not fun anymore, it like dilutes it in a manner that like most people don't want to deal with.
I think that there can be a balance.
There's never one statement that fits everybody, right? I think it's more so like majority versus the exceptions.
Yeah, because there are definitely ways in which I can monetize and I do monetize, but I think that there's also ways in which that I choose not to, right? And that's just because it is like a very pure, like sacred space. And like to me, I'm a very spiritual person as well. And so, you know, I believe that my blessings like come, you know, literally like 1 month, my mortgage was just randomly paid. What are you even talking about? That does not happen. Stuff like that happens all the time in my life.
It's 2 times. The guest we had yesterday was saying how he was on the side of a road and someone just happened to stop him. He ran out of gas and someone was like, hey, I got gas. You want some gas? And he was like, what?
Yeah. Exactly. And like, I really do, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the film that I made, is because real life is so, it's so dope.
Yeah.
We don't need fiction, you know, and like every day is like a miracle. And there's so many miracles that happen. I mean, just even to me to get to where I'm at right now. So I would say, am I running a business? In a way? Yeah. In a way, I am running a business. I do monetize my creativity. There are also ways in which I don't, and I give back, you know, the same way in which I volunteer my time every Thursday morning and fill food bags and give them out to my community who's hungry and need, you know. Can I get paid to do that? Yeah. Do I need to get paid to do that? No. You know, so I think I have the privilege to be able to choose because I'm retired. Everybody's not in that position. So
Facts.
What are you retired from?
I retired from the state. I worked at Napa State Hospital for almost a
Okay.
decade
Yeah.
before I became a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Smart.
I retired. I was a narrative restructuring therapist and a
Okay.
psychiatric technician.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I now I get to create and I get to give back and I get to, be a mom. And I also know this, like, for me, that's the most important as well as being a mom.
Yeah.
And being a creative, I've been able to do that, especially before COVID. Oh my God. Before COVID was lit. I was making sickening money.
Yeah.
Sickening money.
Yeah.
And I would only work like 2 or 3 days a month because
Yeah.
who cares that I
Right.
have to? My mortgage is low. My overhead's low.
For sure.
I'd rather just hang out and enjoy life.
Right.
Yeah.
But some people aren't like that, right? Other people are like, I got to do this and I got to do that. Well, they can go ahead and do this and that. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I think as I've eased into my life more and as I'm getting older, I'm just realizing like the things that are important to me personally. I don't need a big house. I have the car, I have the house, I have the family, I have the things. I don't strive, like, I don't need anything more. I'm so grateful for everything that I have as far as material stuff goes. So then it kind of is like, well, why work? What's the purpose?
For sure.
And if there's no purpose, then okay, well, what is the work gonna take away from? Is it adding to you? Is it taking away from you?
For sure. Agreed.
Added to or taken away. I agree.
Yeah, it has to be either or, or balance of the two.
So, sorry, you have something?
No. So I was going to clarify what you were saying with David Shands, the
Okay.
creative piece of it.
Clarify, my friend.
Well, no. Is it just you're talking about having the title as a creator?
Yeah,
It could
so you
potentially
see a lot of people, especially nowadays, who are like, oh, I'm a creative.
Yeah.
It's a badge
Oh,
of honor.
yeah.
Like that's,
Yeah.
I think that's what he's
Yeah.
trying to. It's
Gotcha.
like I'm a creative.
Yeah.
And it's like in certain circles, no offense, but like at I would say the lower business level circles is like, oh yeah, bet, like, oh yeah, let's all create, let's do art. But what he's saying is that like once you get up to people who are like really exchanging money and making businesses and building empires, like saying I'm a creative doesn't hold the same.
Oh,
weight.
gotcha. So just like introducing yourself as that title.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like using that as your name tag
Yeah.
isn't a badge of honor in a business world.
Yeah. So I 100% would agree with that. And I'll also tie it into, it's almost like the leadership thing, right? You have folks who are just, by virtue of their position, they're called a leader. But based off of their skill set and what they're able to actually do and be an effective leader, that's a difference.
Yes.
That's a
That's through
different
action.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's the same thing. If I'm just calling myself a creator, that's just a title.
Correct.
But if I'm at the table with, at that round table with individuals making those decisions, I know that I'm a creator. It is not based off of my title. Just like I know that I'm a leader based off of my actions of the execution and the results. And so, that's what I wanted to add to that piece of it. So.
No, for sure.
I think too, like breaking down like what is a creator, like I'm a creator, right? So
sure.
I don't have to be creating art.
Yeah, we're all
like,
creatives.
Right.
Yeah,
In-
but
in essence, right?
It's like understanding it's like a creative it's not just about art.
yeah.
When I worked at Napa State Hospital, I was creative in the way that I took care of my patients. I was creative in the things that I came up with, my treatment plans. I was creative in the way I communicated with the doctors, with the nurses, with the family. I created my own title within the state of California. Had never been done before. I created my own position.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
At Napa State Hospital, right? So I think like, let's not take creative and put it in this art box. No, like real estate. Yo, I could get down with you on creative ways to finance real estate. Like I'm head in the clouds, afro, smoke a little weed, enjoy a little shroom, do, love the Lord, spiritual, all that. And still, I was getting bussed from 7th grade into high school for taking math classes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I think that you want to separate, or that statement wants to separate creative and business. The thing is, like, I'm really dope at business because I'm so creative.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it means to separate it. I think what it means is wearing that as your title. Like, no one's saying, like, we're all, like, I 100% agree. We are all creative. Like, I say it all the time. I'm good behind a camera, but, like, Percy's way better than me. other people are way better than me. Business is what I am creating. That is my art. Making this space, that is my art because I enjoy it. I'm good at it. I love it. And I think that's kind of but I'm not going to walk around and be like, I'm a creative. Like, no, like I run a business. I'm a bit, and I come up with creative solutions to make sure like we provide value. And I think that's kind of like what it's saying is that when you reach a different level, simply saying I'm creative is no longer enough.
And I think that is if titles matter. It depends on what room you're in.
Right.
Well, and I think it's the people who label themselves as creative more than likely who label themselves, like I said, more than likely aren't thinking at that level that's required of that particular room. The room he's talking about. That's that's kind of like how I understand it. I know you're burning.
No, it's an interesting.
But it's perspective. Like
yeah,
earlier,
exactly.
right?
It is perspective. It's an interesting thought, and I've come to a place like where I'm gonna disagree, and that's okay. And of course, like if you look at us, we have two very different experiences in this world.
100%.
So I don't know. I'm not with this monolithic society where we all have to agree on everything. And yes, you're right. I'm right. We're all right. Like, no. So yeah, where
That's
I
not
can,
what makes it fun.
That's why I like laugh at it. Cause it's like, I'm laughing cause like, oh, that's a new way to think of this. And if you could see like when I'm looking up, like that's the wheels turning, right? Like,
sure.
but that's what this life is about. And that's why it's important to have these types of conversations, right?
sure.
To open up to different perspectives and have a different idea. Not necessarily trying to like always like, oh, well, I'm right. No, like we're all
It's
three
okay to
in the
not
room.
agree, bro.
We all three see different things. We're all three right in our own experience.
For sure.
Yeah. This is good. So can you tell us about, so as a writer, when you are crafting up a vision or have a vision that pops in your head, right? And the end goal is to shoot this short film so that people can see it, so they can feel whatever you want them to feel. What does that creative process look like from that initial idea phase?
Well, this being my first film from kind of start to finish, it was a 7-year process, first and foremost.
Did you know K-pop Demon Hunters was 9 years?
I totally get that. And
Yeah.
it's like really from like the start of, oh wait, this experience, because it's a true story.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a true story. So I was like, oh, this experience could be a movie. And at the time, that's when we were doing Sorry to Bother You with Boots Riley. Shout out to Boots. And I was like, yo, Boots, I got this idea for a movie. And he was like, oh, he actually gave me final draft to write it. So that was the first thing. I needed the tool to be able to write it because
is that like a software?
it's
Okay.
Final Draft is a software to be able to, and it puts it all into
like the proper format. And all.
exactly.
Is that the one that Ryan Coogler's wife bought for him?
I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
like it's like the one we all use. It updates, a lot of filmmakers use. But that was kind of like the first thing was really like speaking my dream.
Yeah.
And allowing somebody to help me with it because I spoke it. If I wouldn't have said nothing, Boots wouldn't have been able to help me.
Yeah.
So
Closed mouths don't get fed.
man, that's a real thing. Like let your village know what you need.
Yeah.
And so, it went from there and then just like talking about it. And then it was like writing. And I was like, what does this even look like? Just kind of, okay. Then like, what is the story? That's another thing is like, what is the story here? Like, I know it's like, oh, this is exciting to tell because I'm a storyteller, like a verbal storyteller, right? But telling a story verbally and telling a story on film is two different things.
Percy tells
A whole
us a lot
different
about
skill
that,
set.
yeah.
It's a totally different skill set. And then, also me really wanting to stay true to the integrity of the story. The process was really also like I changed within myself. So my own perspective of the story changed. So there was a lot of growth that needed to happen too. So as the film was growing and as I was writing these things, I was growing and changing and going back and being like, no, this doesn't really fit. And it's funny, you probably noticed this in the film. Novi catches this. God, I love Novi Brown. That's also my friend.
Okay.
So I was very happy. I met her when we were premiering Sorry to Bother You at Sundance. And she was actually like the cocktail waitress. And I was like the quote unquote like celebrity with boots and all everybody. And I met her and I was like, yo, you are the one. Like, I just loved her from the moment. And then all of a sudden, a few years later, I get a phone call. Guess what? I'm the star of Tyler Perry's new show, Sisters.
Wow.
You know, from Novi. So that was another thing, is having her along this journey with me, like from the gate, you know, and us talking about this. Like we talked about this film for so long.
Yeah.
And having her be able to show up and show out because she knows me. So,
That's
but she like pointed out this joke in the film. When I first wrote it, it was funny. It was like totally relevant. And then when we filmed it, she was like, yo, that joke is so old. And
It makes sense. 7 years ago.
Right. It makes sense. But it's like things like that as the writer, I didn't even like think about, but she's so brilliant.
Yeah.
That she just like she put it in there like it was, and it made perfect sense in the film because it broke up that moment and we needed that breath.
Yeah.
By the way, I just wanted to say thank you for sending over and giving us a sneak peek of the film. Yeah, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah,
So
you're welcome.
it was a nice interesting short film, and as we were talking prior to, you know, just being able to piece together a piece of art that is maybe specific to a certain targeted audience, but how it brings people together to talk about their different perspectives on how they receive when they watch a film. And I think that's one of the reasons why I appreciate art is because there's never a box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can always color outside the lines, right? And it still could be a masterpiece. And so, you know, I appreciate you giving us a sneak peek of that, you know, before it gets released. So it gets released when?
So,
or can you talk about it?
I can.
Okay.
The official premiere will be September 14th.
Okay.
At the Oakland International Film Festival.
Okay.
So I believe it's oiff.org. You can get your tickets now. Sunday, I'm sure it's going to sell out because I have a lot of dope filmmakers on this. Like, I think we had like 30 folks on the crew, like big crew, but also like big time filmmakers on the crew, which was amazing to get all my real professional friends about this. So yes, we're officially premiering, and I just got this news. Yeah. So I've been working through a lot of no's.
Yeah.
And that's been a process in its own. And especially being like this eternal optimist, I feel like I wasn't allowing myself the space to be sad.
Yeah.
And like, when you're a visionary, it's very hard to explain to people, but I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. So I don't understand what's happening in this world right here because I see it. So why is this not happening?
For sure.
I'm completely visual. So I saw myself at the American Black Film Festival and I saw myself premiering there and winning the award. And, you know, I saw these things and it was like, that didn't happen and that's okay. But I needed to grieve that.
Yeah.
Like I really needed to like be super sad, not to get stuck in it, but just to allow it to kind of wash over and pass because I was holding on to it. And sure enough, I just kind of like let it go. And I did this video. And this is another reason why I share my journey is there were so many people that reached out to me in my inbox. And it's a lot of people I don't know. I've never met before. You know, oh my God, like, thank you. You allowed me to cry. You allowed me to remind myself, like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. It doesn't mean you don't have faith. It doesn't mean, you know, chin up. No, sometimes your chin is down and that's okay. And so, yeah, then 2 days later, I'm in New York, you know, with my son, Trey. We're getting ready to get on the subway to go somewhere. And boom, my yes.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're premiering at home. How beautiful is that? You know, friends and family are going to be able to come. My grandmother, you know, is 83 years old. She'll be able to come, you know, and thinking about this too, like back when we premiered 100 Blocks, the movie that I acted in that's on Amazon right now, like, and kind of, it's like a full circle moment. Like, wow, like I really did it.
Yeah.
Like, I really made this movie, and like people are really gonna like see it at a film festival. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's interesting to hear like your perspective on it, because a lot of people haven't seen it,
Yeah.
right? So it's interesting to hear the perspectives, and you know, I can't wait just to sit in the audience and just listen to the response of the people. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does something have to like premiere, like, because you're asking for for them to premiere it, right? Is that like a part of the filmmaking process, as far as like you can't do certain things until it's like premiered?
It's like, it's whatever you really want it to be.
Okay.
And it was whatever I wanted it to be as the executive producer, because it's my film. So I own the rights to it, so I could decide what I want to do with it.
Okay.
I would say this, in the 10 years that I have been in film professionally, I have not touched a film past the set. So after that cut,
Yeah, it's a wrap.
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Sarah Anders has politely exited stage left. This was different.
Yeah,
and
you were
so
involved in the whole
I
thing.
was in over my head. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed. I was stuck. I was, you know, post-production is one whole beast in itself. It's super expensive, you know, and working on a super tight budget. So just post in itself was really big. And then the whole film festival situation, like, it's not what I thought it was, you know, just, oh yeah, just enter it into film festivals. No. Each film festival, you have to pay to enter it. And on top of that, you have to pay per category. Listen.
Yeah.
That part, I was like,
Get you, bro.
and not only that, it's like a strategy. Like, there's like a person whose job it is to like strategize all of this, because it can only premiere in one state for one festival. You're going to submit to all the festivals. If one says yes and one says no, are you going to wait for this one to say yes, because that's where you really want to premiere? If this one says yes, it already premiered, and then this one says yes, what are you going to do? I mean, yo.
That's crazy.
I was like, all I wanted to do was write, direct, and produce.
I just want to put a video.
I didn't want to do any of the rest of it. I didn't want to do the marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. Like, there's this whole world after the film that was really, really difficult for me. The process that you're talking about is really important. I learned a lot about myself. I do not like not knowing what to expect.
Gotcha.
I do not like not knowing at least what to do, right? Because that's the thing, is like, if I at least know what's needed, then I can figure out how to get there. But I was in a world where I didn't even know what was needed.
Yeah.
I know community is important to you, right? And
Absolutely.
so while we're talking about film and premiering films, there's a lot of youth who are very creative writers, right? In different environments, right? You go from Vallejo to the Phillies to the Chicagos, a lot of very creative and talented youth. For that individual or the parent or leader of someone that has a child like that, what advice would you give them in taking steps to get their short films premiered? Like, what are some things, some tips that you would provide to them?
Oh, have a budget. Yeah, you gotta have a budget. So if you want your film to be seen, like, honestly, I'm not sure what this whole film festival route is. I'm taking it, and here we are on it. But there's other ways you can do it as well. Like, I could have just went around the country and rented out a theater. It's like, what, $150 now? It's so cheap to rent out a movie theater. And I could have premiered it on my own, right? And sold tickets, bought and sold tickets, and done that. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways. There are. Gotcha. I wasn't going to do the film festival route. I was like, no, we're going to go independent, da-da-da. And then I was like, wait a minute. This is a short film. And it, like, if there's like the slightest possibility, there's a tiny chance like we can win an Oscar.
Like, there's still a chance.
Man.
I hear chance. I don't hear tiny, large. I hear chance.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that like sat with me, and I was like, wait a minute. I can't live with the what if.
Yeah.
I can't. That's what what are you gonna live with? You know, I couldn't live with the what if. So I did the film festival route, and I was hating it because I was like, I spent so much money.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out, like I said, okay, do I want my videographer, Vinny? Do I want my DP to be seen? If I want best cinematographer, I got to pay for his category. If I want best actress, I got to pay for her category. If I want best director, I got to pay for my category. It's like every little one. So then who do I choose? You know, and to try to spread the opportunity around was really difficult. I mean, it was just, you know, so I would say get somebody who has done it. And I felt like I did kind of reach out to my community, and maybe I'm learning to accept help better, or learning to articulate what I need and how I need it. Because I think that my community was really trying to show up for me, and maybe I wasn't even able to articulate what I needed.
Yeah.
You know? And I think like the biggest thing is just trust the process. Like the process is going to look so different for each person. And each time I got that feeling in my stomach that I couldn't move, I didn't move. I stopped. I was like, stop. I know my editor, Tatiana, I love you. She probably hates me. I know everybody hates me because I'm a big spirit-filled woman. And if my spirit is not feeling it, and it's like, I can't breathe, I have to stop until I figure out what the problem is. And then, you know, I'm able to move forward. But you just have to figure out your own process, but really just like, you know that you have a community, know that your process is different than anyone else. And you don't have to explain yourself to people. Like, and the people who are really going to get your art are not around you. Like,
the people who get your art is not around you.
The strangers. The ones who really see you. Like, I'm sure close family members, probably brothers and sisters, haven't even seen my movies. Haven't been interested in my career. And that's okay. Like, but just knowing that that's a normal thing, right? And so then setting the expectation so that it's different as well, you know, and realizing who are you doing this for and why are you doing it? Is it for others? Is it for yourself?
Yeah.
You know, I think mine is a bit of both. I grow through all these crazy situations in life and I'll be like, oh my God. And for me to find more purpose in it, I share it. So hopefully other people can find purpose in it, or a sliver of something that'll help them out. Yeah.
Will you be doing any like workshops or like the teachings? The reason why I asked that, because I know in the area of Solano County, maybe specifically Vallejo, again, going back to like, there's a lot of creative youths, right? A lot of people like looking for different things. And that's not something like you generally see workshops like that in the larger cities, like the San Franciscos, et cetera. Like, is that something that you are have an idea of putting together here in Solano County?
Yes, it's funny that you said that. So, as you guys know, I've been doing this thing called Sarah's Playhouse.
Yep.
And it's been popping. For the summer in Vallejo, it's been like a free game night / karaoke / game, like whatever. And in that, I've been able to really kind of instill emotional intelligence as well. I mean, those of you that don't know, I'm also a certified emotional intelligence coach. And so really utilizing this free community space to then uplift, encourage, and empower people. So yes, I am going to come up with some sort of curriculum that involves acting and emotional intelligence. I had a pilot program with the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group this summer at their summer camp. So I was doing Wednesday night playhouse, but I also did Wednesday daytime playhouse with the kids. That's cool. And so with them, we were working on acting skills while also teaching emotional intelligence and really just teaching them how to learn body language and to be, you know, in that. So the curriculum is there, and it worked out really well in that space. So yeah, those are two things that I will be facilitating for. I'm also a facilitator for the Parent Leadership Training Institute, which teaches parents how to advocate for themselves and for their children in politics, in the district, school district, and just in the community at large. So, you know, that activism streak is always going to be,
For sure.
It's always going to be vibrant.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Okay.
That's all
I got another question.
Yeah.
So, earlier you mentioned about receiving all these no's, right? And there's a lot of folks who, whether in business or they have a project, but they absolutely love it, right? And then sometimes when they go to ask for whatever it is, they get that first no, right? And they break down, or and then they get the second no, and then now they're on no 22, right? And so for you to receive all those no's, what was it for you that pushed through that barrier to just keep going?
Being able to release. I got to the point where I had to release, right? So it was like, no, okay, cool, it's gonna be the next one. No, okay, no, okay, no, okay, no, okay, no, okay, right? So on this journey, and then finally it got to like no, and it was just like I broke down, and it was in New York. Like I said, I was in New York, I was at one of my best friend's house in Zinga. She's actually the one in the film. I was at her spot in Brooklyn, and I just like spontaneously combusted into tears. And, it was a safe space where I could just release it. And then I was able to come back to it. So I think that's really important, is that you can't bottle it. And she was able to be there. So I was able to share it with her, even though she didn't really say anything, right? She didn't really say too much. She didn't really do too much, but just her being in that space, I felt safe, and I just was able just to let it go. I also went to the ocean. I really do believe in just releasing. So we went to the ocean. I jumped 7 waves, and I let it go. And I said, this is it. Like, I let it go. I literally jumped the wave, let it bash, jumped the wave, boom, 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 7 times. And I was tired after that. And I was like, okay, that's enough. I had enough. And I released it. I let God have it. Let the ocean, God, everyone have it, because I couldn't take it anymore. And then, and I think there's also a time where you got to pivot. You got to know when that time is to pivot. Like, there's a difference between banging your head against the wall, right? And kind of finding a way to get what you want in a different way. Yeah. So,
okay,
finding the balance of that. But once again, it's a process. It's like a daily search and journey.
Gotcha. No, I appreciate that. I asked that because a lot of people struggle with that, right? Sometimes after the first no, they just break down. And then especially if they get a second or third no. And one of the things that we try to be very intentional about is, if folks are able to see some level of success, whatever that definition is for them, right? There are some people that need those practical tips, and so just being able to ask the question, like you were talking about in the beginning, like, there's power in your voice, right? And so, based off of your answer, may change the trajectory of what someone's going through today, right? So I appreciate you sharing that. My last question is, Sara Anders. There are 3 words: life, love, leadership. Choose one of those 3 words and just share whatever's on your heart.
I would say, I'm gonna break the rules because I'm a rule breaker. I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna cut you off if it's too long.
He's a rule follower.
Love, clearly, I would say love and leadership. And the reason why I can't separate the 2. That's why I would say love and leadership, and you aren't able to lead the people that you don't love. And love doesn't mean you're doing things the way I want you to do them and how I want you to do them. Love means I see you over there looking crazy. I see you over there acting a fool, and still I'm going to create the space for you to be you, and for me not to control who you are, but just to see who you are. So love and lead and love.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Speaking of love, I love it.
Sorry for breaking your rules.
Nah,
sorry, not
good.
sorry.
No, you get it. We know how to navigate through it.
You kept it brief, though.
Yes,
That was
yes.
good.
So, can you share any upcoming projects, or this is your moment to put out their information? How can people find you? And then if there are anything that you want to highlight about you or anything that you're working on.
Yeah, you can definitely find me at IAMSARAANDERS. I am Sara Anders on IG. We got Holy Roller, starring Tyler Perry's sisters, Novi Brown, the one and only, coming up, premiering at the Oakland International Film Festival. You can get your tickets at the oaklandinternationalfilmfestival.org. And yeah, Novi and I have talked about a possible feature coming up that we're hoping to write, starting up and coming in the next year. So I think this one is gonna knock them on their heads. It's a horror, and it's weird. So those people that know me are gonna be like, "What? Sarah's writing horror?" I don't even watch horror. I'm like a 12-year-old girl when it comes to movies and stuff. So, but I'm really excited to see the vision that God has given me, and to be able to articulate it and to put it onto paper, and to be able to do this again with Novi. I think will be amazing, and some of the same people here. And yeah, a feature is on its way, and we're just gonna look at, without saying too much, I'm taking a look at adoption. For those of you that knew I grew up, didn't meet another Black person until I was 10 years old, and just kind of bringing to light that kind of effect and what that could or couldn't have on an individual.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be weird though. We're gonna take a little Jordan Peele weird left hand turn, So it's gonna be, it's gonna be like a what do they call it? Like a social horror film. Okay. I don't know what they call it.
I don't watch horror.
We might make up some new stuff.
There you go. They change the game. That's what creatives do.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sara Anders, from fashion to film.
Hey.
Cam, you want to close us out, brother?
As always, y'all, like, share, subscribe, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.